Now here, there's nothing but Protoss.
Yeah, nothing but Protoss. It's just going to be Protosses hurting Protosses, Protoss and Protoss action, if you will.
Oh,
As here we go. Spawning in at the top right-hand corner of the map. We just saw him take out Nicorakt, and he is playing for Abydos. It is NightMare.
and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is NightMare. NightMare? Strange. Oh.
He disguised himself.
Oh, he tricked me.
It's like, did you ever play Team Fortress 2?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes. I didn't really, but when I did, I played it once or twice. There was that guy that could like disguise himself as other people.
Yeah, the spy.
Yeah, that was such a cool mechanic.
Yeah, definitely. It's like he was like a changeling, except he could kill you.
Yeah, he's like a changeling, except it actually had reasonable gameplay use. Like when I see changelings, I'm just like, I just kind of get a bit annoyed at the Zerg player that they think I'm dumb or something. I'm like, what are you trying to pull?
It's gonna feel like satisfying though, right? Like to just kill the changeling, to like see it.
Yeah, to pick them out.
Yeah,
either one of these things is not like the other. They move a little bit differently.
Yeah.
They're kind of, I don't know, they have like a little limp to them. You can kind of tell.
You like make you make your army like do like a procedure, and then you spot the odd one out. It's like, yeah, you got it, puppy. You got it.
Yeah, you go stand on one leg, and then he stands on one leg, and you go, I didn't say Simon Says, and then you kill him.
Yeah. You end up killing one of your own Marines. Smooch. Has that
I think
ever
I have
happened
done
to
that
you?
before.
Yeah.
Well, I don't attack click the changelings anymore that I used to. We had some accidents, and my men got a little upset at me, so we had to change procedure. We just left click them now.
Yeah, it's so frustrating in ZVZ because I see the changeling, I see the ling, I'm like, then I attack, but because it's like so thin and so small, and it's like in the middle of my roach army, like I kill it, I click on a roach, it's like, oh.
Yeah, no, you just right click them. You don't need to attack them.
Oh really? Oh my god.
Yeah, you can just click on them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's funny with Terran though, because you have medevacs in your control group, so you'll think that someone's a changeling, and then you'll just pick them up, and you'll be like, oh, I guess you weren't a changeling.
There you go. As we're getting into this PvP, we were unable to play our favorite game of PvP, unfortunately, but we do have a pretty standard opener from NightMare. Went for a Stalker Sentry opener.
Yeah, just going to be the 1 sentry for NightMare, but for Strange, he's actually going for a 3-gay robo, so he's going to be going all in on one base, trying to get mass stalkers and batter down at NightMare in that way. So it's going to be really important for NightMare that he does get this scout, and yeah, it avoids the stalkers, so I think he's going to see this.
Oh, very important here for NightMare. He does get into the main base. The Stalkers did miss the Haluk, and now NightMare is fully aware that he just needs to defend it to win this game. We already have 1 shield battery on the way. He throws down a robo immediately.
Yeah, okay, fantastic scout. The battery going to be finishing up just in time. Strange jumps on top of this Stalker, but he is not going to be able to take it down.
Oh, exactly. And now we have a 2nd shield battery on the way. We're going to have an Immortal being made soon as well, as soon as the robo is done. So things are going to look harder and harder here for Strange. He has to commit. He has to try and pull this off. He does have his Prism on the way here, but he actually warps in back at home instead, just to, I guess, not delay any warp-ins. Oh.
Yeah, but maybe a little bit of an overextension by NightMare. He does want to track down these units. Wow, he just nicks the edge of that low health Stalker and takes it out. So 2 Stalkers go down, and this is fantastic work from NightMare. If he can stop this critical mass from growing, that becomes so significant, because we do have to do that math whether the Stalkers can do hull damage through the shield batteries.
Exactly. We do need a high enough number to try and power on through that overcharge, because an overcharge will also be available here for NightMare as well. That first Immortal is almost done. We have some force field energy up.
Nice force field, really nice force fields. That's going to stop Strange from being able to focus all of his shots on a single unit there, and NightMare just buying himself more and more time here for these Immortals to come out.
And the first one is already here. We still haven't popped an overcharge either. We have plenty of energy on these shield batteries. Once again, he does focus out 2 Stalkers.
Yeah, really nice work from NightMare there. He is going to be losing a few of these units, but I love the way that he's also tucking these sentries behind the units here, keeping them safe, so only one of those sentries goes down. Overcharge is committed, so that does give a little window for Strange now.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little bit premature. These shield batteries are running out of energy overall. We now have a second immortal, though, and that will complicate things. Strange is going to be going for a bit of harassment. Instead, we have 2 adepts here in this prison.
Yeah, there we go. So just trying to find a bit of a different angle to come in on. Looks like NightMare was predicting that that was going to be how the Stalkers come in. But instead, he is going to be pulled aside here. So a few probes going down. Not quite enough to get Strange back in the game, but it's definitely all going to help.
Yeah, 6 probes is honestly a lot, and Strange is now ahead in the worker count. Looks like maybe, yeah, he's going to be going to expand. He also threw down a bay. He's going straight into disruptors.
Yeah, okay, so this might be a way for him to secure himself for a counterattack. I mean, NightMare's up to 3 immortals now. If he does go for a prism after this, which he does have a pretty scary counterattack now.
He really does, and it's going to be on Strange to try and keep his opponent back at home, maybe even somehow snipe that prism. Before that happens, we have 2 more adepts shading, warping in. Looks like Strange is headed towards the natural this time.
Yeah, and I mean, for NightMare to hold this, he's had to delay his pro production by quite a bit, so he's definitely decently far ahead, but he's not so far ahead that the game's over.
Oh, exactly, and now another 2 probes are going to be going down. We have a shade into the main base as well. The Stalker's slightly out of position. More probes are falling.
Yeah, really nice job by Strange here. That's actually a lot of damage. Going to get 8 probes for this.
Ooh, oh my god, 8 probes, almost the 9th probe towards the end, but we do have the prism going across the map. NightMare wants to try and do some counter damage here. His main army, though, is still at home. Just now moving out the Nova. Oh god!
Oh, massive Nova takes out a sentry, takes out the shields, and a lot of hot damage on those immortals. He's going to be following it up, takes out both immortals. Really great play coming out from Strange here. Might be able to get the 3rd immortal too, but this is a big overextension. He's going to lose almost every Stalker.
Yeah, almost every Stalker goes down in the end. 2 of them do get saved by that prism. At the same time, we do have Adept harass in the main base of Strange. Does force a recall, but now Strange is also losing a lot of workers.
Yeah, the trademark micro of NightMare going to be coming out as well, saving these adepts, pulling them over to this other base, and this is just very awkward to deal with only Stalkers. They take so long to take out adepts.
No, the disruptors! No!
Oh no! That's so unfortunate here.
They didn't get recalled. Only 1 sentry goes down. Disruptors were so critical here to defend, but now it looks like they're going to be hunted down. 1 of them goes down.
Yeah, one of them does go down. Just a couple Stalkers being split off by NightMare to deal with that last one there as well. And this natural is going to be forfeit here. Strange has to give it up, at least for the moment. And what's he going to have to defend after that? Looks like it's only Stalkers. Okay, he does save that disruptor. That's going to be crucial here.
It really will be. That Nexus is getting very, very low. Here we go. We do have a Nova available. It looks like, oh, he does tank 1 volley of those Stalkers.
Yeah, baits out the shot and almost lands a massive shot there, but it doesn't quite time out for him. And I think that was his last lifeline there as the Nexus goes down.
Exactly. That's so unfortunate. Strange was doing so well for himself, but an unlucky rally across the map. He loses his disruptors. GG gets called, and NightMare takes game 1.
GG, but that was a close game in the end.
Yeah.
I thought Strange was in a really lost position, but he actually managed to make it look close.
Yeah, the Adept harass on top of the very first Purification Nova as well, and just diving on top of those Immortals. As we saw, the dive on the Immortals was a questionable move, but he was kind of forced into it because those force fields, if you remember, they kind of locked him in, so we had to make the best out of a bad scenario. It is just so unfortunate that or at least 1 disruptor was just rallied into its death, and that would have been the biggest game changer there. That could have won him the game if he was able to defend the counterattack. Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking that if he had gotten both of those disruptors back home, maybe he could have held though.
Yeah, 100%, honestly. Like, especially because it's not like NightMare had Blink. Like, I guess he had a Prism to micro as well to try and avoid the Nova, so there was some counterplay, but it still would have been very difficult for NightMare to pull off. But alas, now we're getting into game 2. We are continuing this series, and it's a best of 3, mate. NightMare, he just needs 1 more to move on to the grand finals.
Uno más, por favor.
Uno más, papi, uno más. Can he go all the way?
As here he is, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Previous finalist of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and he is playing for Abydos. It's the South Korean Protoss, NightMare.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss representing Mystery Gaming. It is Strange. Boy, and after a very chaotic game number 1, what will happen here in game 2 as NightMare goes for what seems to be a gate expand, and Strange is doing anything but?
Yeah, Strange is going to be playing 2 gate despite it being a ramp map, which normally means that we see a 1 gate expand. This does usually mean that Strange is going to be the aggressive player, and he was in that last game as well, so I think considering how that last game went, I wouldn't be feeling too discouraged as Strange from going for aggressive play again.
Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling like, oh, just a little bit more, and he could taste the victory. He could taste that win. So I'm sure he wants to just try again, because what is there to lose? Well, his tournament run, of course, but Strange, he's going for the proxy pylon. Oh my.
Yeah, super aggressive, not even really hiding it. He's just going to be putting it nice and close to the front of the base here. And this is something that I feel like we saw this a lot when 1 gate first entered the meta. It was always thought of that 4 gate is just unholdable for a 1 gate expand until Max Packs kind of showed that it's okay with the perfect response. But I think it is still very difficult to hold.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was about to echo that as well. We haven't really seen this in a long time. This was very prominent, like, in 2020, for example. You know, the like, beginning of the COVID era of StarCraft, the rise of Max Packs and his greed. So we'll see if NightMare can defend against this, because I'm sure this isn't common or popular at all anymore, as he has confirmed this, and he did scout the proxy.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like a parting game. I remember parting always doing this and setting up the batteries outside the natural as well.
Yep, exactly. Oh my god, exactly. There were also proxy Stargate Void Ray variants as well, if you recall. And speaking of variants, we do have a proxy Robo being set up behind this.
Okay, interesting. So this time the Robo can be used for Immortals, most likely, instead of a Prism.
Yeah, so Immortals can be used to try and batter down this wall. Meanwhile, we do see NightMare pushing on forward here. It looks like he did get close enough. He did scout that Robo.
Yeah, so he sees everything here, but Strange is being a bit tricky. He's actually going to be going into Adepts behind these first 2 Stalkers. So he shows the first 2 Stalkers, makes it look like it's going to be a 3-gate Robo, but it seems like he's going to try to catch NightMare off guard, shading in some Adepts.
And here we go, here's that first shade, but oh, NightMare, he was paying attention, he was ready for it. The probe was in position, and the shield battery gets thrown down.
Yeah, so we'll be blocking that off, and yeah, we're going to have a model production behind that. NightMare going out a little bit, going to be skirmishing with these units. It's fairly safe, of course, with the shield batteries to drop back on.
Yeah, definitely. So far, the wall is a wall. We do see it cancel, but the probe is going back into position, getting ready to just shut down that wall once again.
Yeah, more Adepts, actually. 5 Adepts. That's pretty heavy commitment, and the shade does get finished.
We have a nice
beautiful
force field.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. A second of these Stalkers are going to be going down. The other one gets trapped as well outside of range of the shield battery.
That was really sick how he did that. So he actually confirms the kill on a few of those Stalkers just by blocking them out. And now he can actually go for it. With the Immortal, there's enough DPS to kill through these shield batteries, and I think he's doing it.
Mate, things escalated very quickly here. We have 1 force field available. There we go. The Immortal is blocked out here. So nice of cutting up the army, but the Immortal is going to survive. The boys are being pulled.
Yeah, the Immortal is going to be trapped in the corner. Looks like it's going to be the probes trying to take it down, but the Immortal, it is going to be taking out all of these probes. It survives, and man, I was wondering what these Adepts were going to be used for. I was looking forward to it, and it did not disappoint.
Wow, the Artosis pylon goes down. Everything is depowered. NightMare does have 1 Robo in the main base. He does have 1 defensive Immortal as well that he can try and micro his heart out, but the probes are falling.
Yeah, the Immortal of Strange going to be living up to his name, and beautiful force field once again should be confirming the kill on this Immortal. It does go down. The Adepts are wreaking absolute havoc, and Strange ties things up.
Wow, GG, well played. Amazing use of the body blocking of his units overall to just try and catch the stalkers of NightMare out of position, out of range of the shield battery. The overcharge never really came into play. That was beautifully done.
Yeah, that was really sick.
Oh my god, and we have a series on our hands here. We're going into the ace match. A part of me is hurting because I'm like, wait, this could have been a 2-0. But I'm more than willing to take part here in game 3. I just want to see more of what Strange has to offer here in PvP, mate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, whatever happens in this game, I'm sure it's going to be exciting. The players have not disappointed with the last 2 games. No boring 3 base, +2 stalkers versus +2 stalkers. No one really gets ahead. The attacker always gets pushed back. No, we're just having them scrap it out.
Yeah, this is the best kind of PvP. This is the PvP that we yearn for, Papi. And here we go. Game number 3 is going to be taking place on Ancient Cistern.
That it is, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here. Got denied from playing the 1-gate expand last game. Let's see what he's going to go for here. It is the South Korean Protoss for Abydos, NightMare.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Strange. Oh. Now, we're on one of the larger maps in the map pool. It's going to be a little bit harder to be aggressive, or it's easier to hide some proxies. And I want to believe that Strange is going to mix things up. And because of his opponent, it's also not out of the realm of possibility that NightMare decides to be the aggressor here at the ace match. That would be kind of up his alley.
Yeah, definitely. But the way that Strange has his buildings placed, he's not going to be able to hold an Adept Shade, so I feel like he's definitely going to want to be the aggressor here because it's a difficult defensive setup. And I feel like as well, if he goes across the map and scouts that there's a pylon in the wall, he might possibly go for an 8 Adept opening or something like that.
It is possible. Meanwhile, 2 probes are moving out for NightMare as well. Oh my god. The first one is going to be scouting as normal. The second is headed towards a proxy location here. Wouldn't be too bad for potentially a Stargate.
Okay, very sneaky. So he shows the scout probe, sends out a second probe. So this is extremely well hidden. Pretty much the only way that Strange could work this out is if he does count the probes in the main. That is something that I remember hearing that probe does that, but I know a lot of players don't.
That's the thing, and as Strange as he wanted to try and count his eggs and figure out what is going on here, the probe is in position for NightMare. Meanwhile, we do have a Stalker Sentry opener, and NightMare, upon seeing the lack of wall, he's also opening up double Adept.
Yeah, okay. I'm having trouble piecing together what exactly Strange is doing here. I can't understand why he didn't go for a wall with a standard build.
Yeah, it's really odd, and I'm sure there's going to be a reason for it. But for the time being, he is going to be on the back foot here against the aggression of NightMare. Meanwhile, there is that proxy Stargate that we were foretelling earlier. It is going to be on the way, and we'll see if Strange can figure out what's going on, because he will eventually go for a hallucinated scout.
Yeah, that's right. And there we go. He is going to be denying the scout of NightMare at least, but the 2 Adepts are headed across the map now.
Yeah, the Adepts are making their way downtown.
Oh, moving fast. And Strange actually sending out a pylon, a probe, sorry, maybe for a bit of a proxy of his own.
Yeah, there we go. Meanwhile, the Adepts are looking to shade on in. Units are in position. Shield battery is ready as well. Looks like these Adepts won't find too much damage. Meanwhile, the hallucination is going across the map, but the Oracle is on the way.
I think Strange is going for proxy DT.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. I mean, the Twilight Council is almost done. Meanwhile, the hallucination comes in, sees the lack of Nexus, and should also see how late this tech structure is as well.
Yeah, especially that being a robo, that's got to set off alarm bells, so we'll see what he's going to do to respond for this. I wonder if he's still going to throw down the DT Shrine.
Yeah, we'll see if he commits, as we do have a blink on the way for Strange. The first Oracle is going to be dipping on in, but one Oracle doesn't have enough DPS to overpower a shield battery. Second Oracle just now begins. The other thing that was missing was the other pylon as well for NightMare, so we'll see if Strange can piece this together. The Adepts, they come in, they go for the sentry.
Oh, the sentry goes down. Really nice pick off for the Adepts, and they are going to be able to put some pressure onto these probes as well. The shield battery will be keeping those topped up, so no more probes going to be going down after that. But I mean, Strange has to be wondering what's coming, and NightMare being really sneaky about it as well. Going to be building up these oracles before he heads in.
Yeah, and here we go. 2 Oracles are going into the main base. They can one-shot workers. There are some Stalkers in position, but they're not quite ready for this. 3, 4 probes go down.
Yeah, doesn't quite sync it up at first, but gets in the end. 4 goes down, but all the Adepts get in for Strange, and there's no battery here.
Oh my god, no battery whatsoever. This is disastrous here without even a proxy. 6 probes go down.
And he sees the Immortal. That's a huge scout, so he knows that he needs to be the defender now.
Exactly. He knows that he has to try and prepare himself for an assault here. He has Stalkers in position in his main base to deter any more Oracle harass. And I mean, Strange is not in a bad position. He's pretty far ahead economically.
Yeah, battery going to be going down. We do have, looks like a little bit of a defensive stasis trap going down. Interesting. NightMare's actually sitting back for now.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. Like, he doesn't have Blink, and Blink just finished up for Strange. He's working on that Immortal count, but I don't really expect him to move out until he has like 3 or 4 Immortals. And he's gonna have like quite an intimidating army once he does get there. And we have a rescout from Strange. He does see the army, and he also confirms everything in the main.
Yeah, gets that rescout. If you didn't know already, it's gonna be he's gonna be 100% sure as well that Stargate is proxied, so you might want to go look for that later on.
Exactly, maybe wise to do so. Strange working on his own robo. We've got a Forge on the way for +1 as well. NightMare getting into a delayed Twilight Council of his own, and as things are going to be settling down here, I still do favor Strange. I do think that if he moved out, like, because the Immortals defensively, I do think that NightMare should be fine back at home. But Strange, like, it's going to be difficult for NightMare to kind of come back here, or to find a way back.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because there's a symmetry of the position. Neither player can really move out or do too much, so it's going to be a little bit of a standoff while they both try to look towards their next timing.
Yeah, definitely, as we have continued hallucinated scouts here from Strange, very on top of everything here, confirms the saturation, confirms the 3rd gas being taken, and also sees the probes headed towards the 3rd base of NightMare.
Yeah, that's right, and the Oracle's just going to be a little bit annoying there. Just stop that probe from getting straight away to making the 3rd for Strange.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It is going to be a little bit delayed. Both players are going for their 3rd bases. +1 is on the way for Strange. Blink again, already done. Oh.
Don't macro. Don't do it. It's a trap.
You're like, well, I was promised some clown fiestas, Poppy. What's going on? Where's the circus? I was tricked.
And he just stasis trapped that deer thing, but the deer's green already. It's impervious.
Oh.
It's like a radioactive deer.
It's a Torsalope. Torsalope.
Doesn't really look like Tosis.
You're like, I don't think our Tosis is green. Everything else is fine, but that green shade though, that's a bit odd.
He's unhealthy. He's not doing well. That Canada has not treating him so good.
Not so good, mate. I mean, have you seen the compilation with the salt, Poppy? Oh.
Yeah, the salt preserves him. It's healthy.
Whatever you say, Poppy. Whatever you say. But yeah, both players are just getting up into their 3rd bases, as you were saying, just macro oriented. We have +2 on the way, more gateways as well. Strange still maintains his overall worker lead, and no one has tried to take up any further here. I do think that it would have been on NightMare to try to throw down a Bay, but for now, just continued Stalkers and Immortals.
Man, I really jinxed it. I said that this wasn't going to happen. I shouldn't have. What was I thinking?
What are you thinking, Poppy? No. There has to be one in the series. You know, there has to be at least one here. And NightMare, instead of going for a Bay, he's actually going to be going for a Templar Archives instead for Archons.
Yeah, okay. Looks like maybe you can go for a Charger Immortal Archon timing, or I guess it kind of seems from the way that he's playing that he's relying on maybe Strange going for an attack and the attack not working out so well, and then he can win with a counter attack. I don't think he really has the kind of an army that can go across the map.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, Archons can do really well, especially defensively against charge. Let's me look at the stasis field. Jesus Christ. Like, NightMare's just littering the map with nothing but stasis traps. So I agree. It does seem as if he just wants to repel something from Strange, but Strange is ramping up. He's moving out across the map. He has charge. He's also working on glaives behind this.
Yeah. Interesting. +2 is finishing up. Stalker going to be running on ahead to try to scout out these stasis traps. I wonder if he knows just how many there are.
Yeah, he has an observer, and oh, sorry, that's NightMare's observer, never mind. Nightmare Strange, I wonder if he does realize what's going on, because we are just littered here with nothing but stasis traps. We have a bit of a zealot run by being set up as well, going across the map towards that natural.
Yo, the walk by heading on in. And this is kind of scary for Strange. He has there's so many immortals for NightMare. I don't really think he can push into anywhere near a battery. So I'm not really sure what Strange has to look for here. I guess he just wants to deny a fourth.
I guess so. He pokes in, sees that there's no fourth, and he backs on off from there. Meanwhile, the slow lots are being cleaned up by these Adepts. Glaives is going to be finishing up afterwards, but warping into Glaives defensively, Adepts defensively is a little bit sus. It could be a little bit of a tell here for Strange. Sorry, for NightMare.
It's definitely weird. It's something I've been seeing a little bit more in PvP lately, but here we go. The 5 Immortals going to be pushing back the army of Strange. That's a terrifying army that NightMare has here, but there's no batteries here yet, so there's definitely possibilities here, especially with the Adepts. He can maybe shade in behind and trap the army.
Oh, we have a couple of force fields being thrown down as well. There's no way to break them. These Immortals are being cut in half.
Yeah, there's no prism, so he can't save the Immortals. 4 Immortals have already gone down, and that's an amazing start here for Strange on this attack.
Oh my god, that's a kill, not a cancel as well in the 4th base, and here we go. Strange is pushing on forward. He has to be careful. There are still some stasis traps available here, but they do get spotted. There is an observer with the main army.
Okay, he sees the stasis traps. That could have been really disastrous. There's another one here. He sees that one as well. He's going to be blinking on in to trap that, and he gets the other one as well. He's taking out all the stasis traps. That Stalker walking on air there, doing a little boogie. Can't touch this. And here comes the attack.
Oh, we have one last stasis trap. Yeah, it does connect here. Decent stasis trap in the end. We have an overcharge as well, keeping NightMare's Immortals alive. We have the Prism Micro.
Yeah, NightMare is going wild with the micro, absolutely microing his heart out, but the numbers, they don't lie. Strange is just overwhelming him. He has more Stalkers, he has Immortals, he has the Adepts, he has the 4th base as well. Seems like it's just a matter of time.
Exactly, there's no more overcharges remaining. We have the blink on forward, the Prism goes down, the boys are being pulled, but out of nowhere here, out of left field, Strange with the upsets. I was worried he missed his chance in game 1 where he wouldn't be able to get the 2-0, but he takes the series anyway. GG gets called, and Strange moves on to the grand finals.
GG, Strange in killer form today, and he will be our first finalist.
Wow. GG, well played. Congratulations to Strange. Really popping off tonight. He took down Wayne, the European Zerg player. He's taken down last week's finalist as well, the Korean Protoss and NightMare. And again, like, he looked damn good, or Strange looked damn good in every single one of those games as well. Not just the ones that he won, but even the one that he lost. He had some opportunities. He had the chance there. He had a lead. What a series.
Yeah, really good series between these two players, but Strange is going to be taking it down pretty convincing fashion as well, so he will be awaiting the winner of our other semi-final, and that's going to be a ZVP. It's going to be Demaga versus Cristiano, with Cristiano taking the 2-0 over Forjumi.
Oh, GG, well played. So Cristiano did end up taking down the German Protoss player. Forjumi was the other one that we had our eyes on, just because he's been performing so well recently, been getting a lot of really good results. But this week, Cristiano just had that edge. And now we're moving over to the land of Europe.